Hey everyone, how's everyone doing? This is Geth Prime here, and you've seen the top 10 worst tracks that I refuse to race, and it's the worst track in CTR online. But this is for online, and it's the best tracks that I prefer, and you must prefer to recommend to race if you want 1 per coins, want more money for it, and its extension of durations of 30 minutes or so per day, even if you're a fast racer. But people whinge to be lazy to go into a baby track and get less Wumpa coins because they're doing it wrong, they're lazy. But this is the one I'm going to do, the top 10 tracks online that are highly recommendable to get more coins than that. So here we are, number 10. Unfortunately I don't have a video clip for this. It's Inferno Island. Inferno Island is excellent. It's one of the best examples, which is a bigger extension of Crash Cove, but it's probably more of an open war zone, but not that much contested than Crash Cove. But even though you get much coins there for a daily bonus, it's pretty much not that bad. Even though when there is a party of 8 people, of your people, whatever, all I can say, there's only one shortcut in this race, and there is a lot of anticipation in the last 2 corners, so have fun on it. Okay, number 9 is Slide Coliseum, which is the least picked in Nitro Fueled. I don't understand this, and people are really deluded why they don't like this track, and it's the only track that have no turbo pads, and it has certain shortcuts, and people don't seem to use them, but some attempt to do it in their own time, but I don't know. But I like this for some reason. The first shortcut is tricky to reach. Just get some good turbo and jump in. And this one you don't need turbo, but you might slow down a bit, especially the last one, which is right on the right side. And it's pretty much the most contested track as well, and it's the least picked in online consensus, and people need to understand this. This track gives you better coins than any other small track, because if you're one of those big babies that like Tiny Temple, Tiger Temple, Rouge Troops, whatever, you don't get that much coins. You're just a load of baloney. This track is the bomb. Alright, number 8 is Turbo Track. Turbo Track is one of the basics of the Ultimate Sacred Flames. And what is Ultimate Sacred Flame? Is the bigger version of Unlimited Turbo, because the Unlimited Turbo is like Burnout. So if you get this blue icon turbo thing, these are what you call super turbos. So super turbos can keep your speed throughout the rest of the race if you can maintain it, and you can actually do power slides to maintain that. But if you do it if you do a turbo slide and boost it into the turbo pad, it extends it. Even if it extends it more, even if you're running out. So it is a fun track, it's heavily contestable, and it's absolutely amazing, and I suggest you race it. And here we are, number 7 is Clockwork Wumpa. Clockwork Wumpa is one of my favorites in Nitro Kart. So the Nitro Kart track, sorry. So I never owned Nitro Kart, so don't hate me for this because I never played it before. But as I see for this one, I want to give you an example why I stopped there. Because see this route here, I take this route all the time, but when it comes to the randoms, they take the shortcut, or I don't class it as a shortcut, the short route, which is the cogs that slow your car down, and you sometimes fall over and the mask summons you to help you. But I tried twice. First I failed, and then the second time I had normal speed for this. So I didn't bother using the turbo boost for this because it was an absolute pain in the ass to do this, and I don't like it. because this short route is absolutely a waste of pace and it's not worth doing. As Crash say, no, no, no. So anyway, for this ramp is commonly for stopping people for getting the weapons in the center, and these two irrelevant shortcuts again, as Crash got blocked. You can choose to go at the bottom or into the shortcut itself, because even though there is one shortcut, which is this one, but I don't believe this shortcut is actually a good pace for this, even if you're an advanced, because you can still catch up regardless. And the only thing that can stop you, even for the competition, is the ultimate sacred flame, even for the clocking bell, whatever, but it's actually a good race. And number 6 is Android Alley. Android Alley is probably one of the most picked for the Nitro kart tracks for online consensus, because of this part here. The train part is where people can test to throw traps and use weapons here, especially where you get into Brio scrubs, which I'll get into that. And you get a lot of turbo speeding, and you get a lot of opportunities in the straights if you can manage to hit your opponent. So in this one, it's pretty much of a contested competition in this game for online. But all I see from the shortcut from the straight, even if the opponent gets hit, it takes them into the other way around, and sometimes they prefer to go the shortcut again, or just carry on to go into the normal route. But I don't know. And here we are on to the top 5, which I recommend you racing, and you should race for the Wumpa coins. It's Assembly Lane. It's the least picked in online consensus, and I tell you why. It's because people argue enough to fight for the shortcut, and it's the most heavily contested shortcuts in the game. And if you think I'm wrong, then get yourself away from the video, and I don't want you. Because this shortcut is the most contested in this game. And the reason why is because with no turbo, you can't get in that shortcut. If you keep some turbo, then you will able to get up there. Because without turbo, you will get what you call stalled. So even if it's a small amount of boost, just like 1, 2, whatever, and boom, even if it's a 1, it's best to do it with the third final corner of the turbo to reach that shortcut. And there is one other shortcut that people I don't see or point take why they take the right side, and this is the one I'm going to do right now. The right side loses you a lot of time, and even Oxide's Time Trial Ghost did this, but I disagree. Even Crash disagrees. So we're going to go back, and we're going to take the excavator belt. Trophy did this in the time trial, and do I agree with it? Yes. As long as you keep the turbo, Oxide had little pace on there. It's absolutely one of the best shortcuts to keep up your opponent. Even if you manage to avoid getting squished by the pistons, then good luck on it. But it's still one of my favorite tracks to earn Wumpa coins that way, because people need to know these shortcuts are pretty much heavily battled, and it's pretty good and adds more fun to it. So here we are, number 4 is Hot Air Skyway. Hot Air Skyway is probably one of the most bizarre exploits in 1999, but what Beanox did to this one is pretty much 100% opposite, because this one involves a lot of sacred ultimate flames, And what is this is to keep the flame within the whole circuit, and this is the reason why. And I'm gonna hold it there because, as you can see, you are much into a risk zone which is falling off. Because as you see while I pause the game, you can fall off at any chance by advanced cards because they can boost away, but for turned cards they can boost in front, but they can kiss the wall easily. But for intermediates it's pretty easy, but if you're an advanced card it takes a lot of skill. But still you can reach the classic shortcut. So anyway, let's go on to number 3. It's Out of Time. Out of Time is one of my second favorite Nitro card tracks. It's heavily anticipated. Even the first shortcut and second shortcut is heavily anticipated than Polar Pass, and I'll tell you why. It's because first, people can easily catch you up in these shortcuts, and second of all, it's going to be way more fun. Even if it's heavily contested or not, it adds way more into catching up for those who experience time trial doing oxides, so-called shortcut exploitations. And most of the majority of the people right now who are racing this track followed Oxide's path, which is why I like it. And number 2, and it's my runner-up, which is Electron Avenue. Electron Avenue is the second practice of the ultimate Sacred Flame, because unlike Turbo Track, Electron Avenue is the longest track for Nitro Kart. So for what I see from Electron Avenue, it has one little shortcut, which is right there, which I took. But I don't know if I can consider this a shortcut or is it a corner cut. But I don't really see any shortcuts from this game, from this track, sorry. But there is a lot of anticipations from hairpins, from intermediate carts and beginners. But for advanced, they will struggle a lot on this one. And it's probably one of my favorites, even for Sacred Flame practices. And now that leads to my number 1, is Tiny Arena. Tiny Arena is not really the most picked from Crash Team Racing tracks, because the most picked in Crash Team Racing tracks is possibly Rouge Tubes and Tiger Temple. But for this one, however, Tiny Arena has a lot of pace to give. Even if you want to disagree with me with this, stay away from this video. You get a lot of coins on both Electron Avenue and this track, because these two are the only tracks I favor to race, and I highly recommend you to race with, because you get the highest capacity coins for the daily of online. And it's pretty much recommended to do these tracks as well, because you have a lot of time, you have a lot of pace, and you have a lot of catching up, and you can still win first place on these long tracks if you can keep up that pace. And people don't like long tracks. Well, fuck you, because these tracks that are long enough are way more fun. They don't kill it. And if you're one of those small track people that like it, you kill the fun yourselves. You earn less of my dignity and respect for it. So anyway, this is the end of the video. And I might do some old school videos again, and I might resume Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver if I can. So that will be it for me. If you enjoyed my top 10, see if you agree on something, or you can state your own reasons on these top 10s, what you think. Click the like, or if I see trolls giving majority of thumbs downs, I'll disable the viewings of of the ratings, but if it's too much, I'll disable the comments. But click the sub button and hit the ding dong bell and whatever it is to keep up with the video. So I'll see you next time.